Good evening and welcome. My name is Timp.
You know, you totally had to make it like a podcast intro right there, didn't you? Like, what's up, guys? I'm Daaanty. I'm hanging
There
out
it
here
is.
with Timp. What are we doing here, Timp? What is this?
Dude, I was going to ask you the same thing, but so I wasn't really quite prepared for this, but you know what? I got this. So, first of all, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. What we are about to see is an exhibition race of some Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament participants from the second GMP MT, which was last year in 2020. So we have 4 racers going head-to-head in a 4-way race. No shenanigans, I promise. It's just a very standard, straightforward, open assured, just like the runners are going to be playing during during the 21 tournament. And yeah, we're excited to have them on. We're looking forward to a great race. Tell us a little bit, Daaanty, if you would. I'm going to throw it back to you now, about these runners and why we've invited these particular folks to race for us tonight.
These lovely people are, alumnus, I guess. Is that the right word? Alumni?
I think it's alumni, yeah.
What I'm going to use alumnus because I'm me. So I'll say that. But anyway, these awesome folks were in the Mentor Tournament last year, and a lot of them have shown great growth since then, which has been, phenomenal. They put in a lot of work themselves. We can't say the Mentor Tournament did this, but I would like to say it was a potential stepping stone for them. So now this is kind of, in the spirit of what we did last time, and we did kind of meme it up a little last time with a recreation of another race. That's not happening today. What we're going to do is basically let these guys just kind of duke it out with this new mode, Open Assured, and kind of show us, hey, here's what we've learned. Here's what we can do now, and hopefully they don't get screwed over by any item placements today.
Well, I mean, you know what they say, Rando gonna Rando. If Rando decides to Rando, we cannot be held accountable for that. That was nothing that we did specifically other than generate a seed for these fine folks. Yeah. And it looks like they are off. So let's see what we have. 10 arrows all around for everybody.
Heck yeah.
Okay, we got a red crystal in Hera and blue crystals everywhere else, looks like.
All right, I approve of Vortex right here, and as well as DapperWormMan doing some hot uncle routing. However, Shkoople and Laoria are headed over to Lost Woods. Looks like Laoria is going to give us our first peek of the Lumberjack Ledge.
So this is something that I'm definitely in the habit of doing. When you're in an open situation like this, Daaanty, what do you like to do with your starting?
I like going to Uncle, mainly because I like having more checks to get money and or bombs. That's just me. Especially with a sword here, there is the opportunity as we see bombs dropping from and a glove there. I missed what was there. What was there? Did you see it, Timp?
I did not. I'm sorry. Hopefully chat can come through for us.
All right. We'll take a look. Take a look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna you pay attention. I'll look on the stream.
Okay. I'll be watching.
It was garbage. All right.
Okay, cool. All right.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. With Assured Sword, you can go ahead and knock out Front of Escape if you like. We did see some flippers there in the Lost Woods, and hey, I gotta say, Vortex is memeing it up a little bit, going right side strats and escape.
Yeah. A little bit unorthodox. I guess, most people go left. It does make sense if you're trying to really maximize your pumping. But technically they're both exactly the same distance. So if you want to do it, then go for it.
Shkoople did manage to get some bombs. So he will be our first runner here in Kakariko, heading into Blind's hut.
Let's see what Blind has in store for us here in the basement.
And I noticed over on DapperWormMan's side, dropping in back of Escape with those gloves, did manage to get a lamp back there, so is doing Dark Cross.
That is a handy lamp right there. I have to say, I'm honestly a little bit disappointed to see the flippers show up so soon, because I was kind of hoping that our runners would give us a little bit of an exhibition of some of the basic glitches that I think a lot of our runners in this tournament are going to be doing that involve going through water, like fake flippers and maybe even splash delete and things like that. We're not going to be able to see any of that because it looks like we have some nice early flippers this time.
Yeah, for sure. You could still do the fake flippering.
Fair.
So Laoria picked up a few bombs there from the 50-50 bushes near the Grove area. DapperWormMan taking an unorthodox route heading to South Shore. But we are also getting a blue mail there on Shkoople's side, as well as our other gloves.
The other glove and a mirror.
All right. So Kakariko is loaded today.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so we have a lot of toys to play with here at the beginning of the seed. We know where both of our gloves are. We have our flippers and our mirror, and even a blue shirt that we can wear. So
Shkoople showing some good tech here. This is a nice heads-up play, especially for newer runners. You're worried about money. We did have a gold bee, and what Shkoople did there was throw that gold bee out to the bottle vendor, and it's a free 100 rupees for showing him a gold bee. And basically, it just gives you the item for free.
Wow.
Very heads-up play.
Yeah, I love the heads-up play. That's the kind of thing that comes with playing and watching this game a lot, absorbing that kind of information. You can't get that without experience.
For sure. And we did get a bottle, so sick kid, lazy kid, giving us another bottle. Very nice.
Wow.
But yeah, I gotta say that Kakariko had quite a bit here. That's gonna be all but some Dark World access. We just need a pearl. And who knows when that'll show up. That should be pretty soon.
It was loaded. I want to point out Laoria's screen right now. She's taking advantage of this bomb hut that is in Kakariko. So if you have only found 1 or 2 bombs and you're in Kakariko and you need more and you maybe don't have the money to buy more, this is a great option. You can go down to this house in the bottom left, bomb it, and there are 4 guaranteed bombs in the corner pots. So you can just go ahead and stock up on your bombs and be on your way. Now, of course, she will probably go ahead and find some bombs down here because that tends to always be the situation, but you'd rather go in having them, right? So,
yeah, for sure. So yeah, we kind of got runners, I guess, tracing each other's steps, but we did get to see Mini Moldrum Cave over on DapperWormMan's side, and not a whole lot of stuff there. So, all of our big checks, I guess, are kind of, already done. There is the opportunity to go to the mountain. We do have full Hera access with the mirror plus the lamp. That's always an interesting play this early on as we see Wormman getting his flippers now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely be curious to see what's on the mountain at this point. Hera, of course, in play, but we don't have a fire source and we don't have hookshot either, so we're going to have to do it the honest way at this point if we decide to go up there.
Yeah, whose screen are you watching, though? I see 3 fire sources between 4 runners right now.
Oh, right. I was looking at Laoria's. There you go. She doesn't have it yet.
And she doesn't. I don't know what she's doing. She's not going to escape, but, she will eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll get it eventually. And I will eventually see the other lanterns that everybody has. So, yeah, Hera... again, though, the point about the hook shot, I mean, I'm looking at all 4 screens. I don't see one hook shot that anybody has. So they're going to have to go up the slow way at Hera potentially if they decide to do that. Which could make a big difference if somebody goes later on with boots and or hook shot, All
right, so Timp, you're Laoria right now, and you don't have a lamp, and you're going through Kakariko. What's your next play? Are you going South Shore or are you doing Escape?
The right thing to do, this is what I would be thinking afterwards. The right thing to do was Escape, but for some reason I did South Shore. That is probably what would happen to me.
It looks like she's going South Shore. I can't say I blame her. There's a lot of density there, so it makes a little more sense. We do have 2 runners heading up the big boy mountain, getting our old feller, carrying him out of the darkness. DWM and Vortex both doing that. What's the old man going to have for us today? It is just a piece of heart, nothing special.
1/4 of a heart only. All right, so we're going to dodge some boulders, make our way up the mountain. How do you like these sprites, by the way? I'm a fan of this, Game Boy Link.
These sprites are pretty good. I gotta say, I don't really like the Twilight Princess Zelda. The only time I've ever used her, I got a terrible seed, and therefore Superstition won't let me ever use her again. So, being stupid, obviously, but I gotta say, my least favorite is Vortex's, just because there's so little animation with the way the Game Boy Color Link, walks in the game. Something about it just makes my brain break. The couple times I've used it, it just kind of made my brain fall all to pieces, and I just decided, okay, we're not gonna use that anymore. Hey, we're running our mouth about stupid stuff, but hey, did you see DWM and VortexofDoom picked up a hammer? That's a pretty good find.
Breaking things to pieces, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's gonna give us quite a bit. There's the mountain, which I'm so shocked that Vortex isn't doing that. I guess and neither is DWM, but I think both of them maybe are trying to find the pearl, which makes sense, because that way with those mitts, did they not have mitts? Wait, oh my god, they haven't been over to Kakariko.
Oh wow.
Okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, makes total sense.
I just want to quickly note, it is definitely difficult to watch 4 people racing the same seat at once and keep track of who has seen what and who is, so bear with us as we try to decipher this, and forgive us if we, kind of make any mistakes in that regard. But yeah, there's a lot to keep up with. Just watch any screen you want and enjoy. That's my advice.
Yeah, if you think we're making mistakes and you're wrong, it's just happy accidents. There's a shield, an ice rod cave. There's 3 of those in the pool. This isn't hard mode, but Shkoople going to give us our first look at Tower of Hera.
Ooh, Quake. Wow. Taking a death that is not a huge deal, because they're going to spawn just kind of right where they just were. If you have to take a death, definitely not the worst place to do so. But I'm sure it was not intentional. But they're back on it, and they're going to get this Quake here, and then we'll continue their ascent through Hera. Mini Moldorm. We have VortexofDoom. Didn't look like a whole lot, unless there was something in that first chest, which I did not see.
So, Laoria showing us a little game knowledge. With that glove, able to pick up some blue rupees. And we got Zora money now, so she is going to give us all of our water checks, it looks like. Looks like she is going to swim north, maybe fooling me. She's fooling me. She's not going north.
Not interested in seeing what's on the island or checking the man under the bridge. Going straight for the Zora area.
All right, so yeah, that would totally explain why they didn't go to Hera. When I say they, I mean Vortex and Dapper, because they didn't have the mirror. Man.
Yeah.
A lot of happy accidents right now on the comms ends. But
these are all little quizzes to make sure that our future participants in the MT21 are paying attention, so they can actually us from chat.
Yeah,
actually,
for sure.
do that.
And honestly, I'm gonna kind of build off what Tim said. This is a prime example as to why the main tournament for qualifiers only did 2 featured players per race instead of 4. Just that way, the quality is a little higher. But hey, it's always nice to have 4 people. That's why we're doing it. Zora area has been garbage, but is the actual big fish going to be worth it today? 1 heart, 3 bombs.
3 bombs.
That was not worth it.
Well, now you know. You got a $500 question answered.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I have not seen anything. Oh, we got Quake over on Shkoople's side.
And it was a required coffee break. So no way around that, because we don't have the boots or hookshot.
And I gotta shout out our lovely trackers. We got 2 of them tonight because there's so many runners. We got Radical Sniper 99 and LadyBoxthief clicking all the buttons, and they're doing a better job than I am of paying attention. And so big thank you to them. They're keeping me and Timp in line.
Yes, big shout outs to them, and also a big shout out to our Restreamer Amarith. Also a GMP MT admin, doing a lot of help behind the scenes and in front of them with restreaming and just making the tournament run smoothly. So thank you to our trackers and our Restreamer this evening.
All right, so Vortex, meanwhile, Vortex is in Kakariko now, but while there, Shkoople has done a nice job of using that hammer, taking down Moldorm at the top of Tower of Hera. There's a Master Sword for his troubles. That
go.
does put Aga into logic, but the only reason I think we would need to do that is if the Moon Pearl's on the pyramid.
Yeah.
I hope, God, I hope not.
well, we have our hammer, which is great news because we can just go ahead and head west, and we've got Paradox and Spiral, and maybe we find a pearl in there. We've already got our mitts, or well, Shkoople doesn't, unfortunately, but there's a lot of things up here to check, I guess, is the point. So it's kind of like, that's nice that you can kind of think about your next play while you go ahead and get these 8 at a minimum checks right here, which is definitely helpful when you're kind of planning things out.
And we did have a Dark World map check there from DapperWormMan, and it looks like we had a pendant pod, and I think it was a green pendant mire. I do not recall where the that other red crystal was. The 5/6, the important one.
No, I missed the Dark World map chest, unfortunately. I was just thinking about the fact that Vortex is just now in Kakariko, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, what is
definitely
the standard
alternate
mode?
Routing? Yeah. Oh, and using the mirror block arrays too. You don't see that too often. I like that. You check this so early that it's rare for you to have the mirror. But yeah, very nice to just be able to get rid of those blocks and check this room just that much quicker.
Speaking of getting rid of blocks, Shkoople just did that in Paradox. If you do have mirror and you can get around the red Tactite or whatever he's called, he does a whole lot of damage. You can just come in this bottom, save a screen transition. Nothing in the bottom 2 chests. Dropping a bomb there. Not sure if that was out of displeasure or just out of accidental. We do have 4, 5, no, count it, 5 checks up here in the upper part or middle part of Paradox. We got a heart container, 3 bombs, $50, and then we have to walk around. It takes
not
forever.
Impressed so far.
$20 and 300, so no Moon Pearl.
Yeah, not that great. All right, so where to next? We do still have the eastern area unchecked by anyone, I believe.
You don't want to do eastern right now. You want a bow before you do that.
No, I don't. But if I knew I was racing against 3 other people, the thought would definitely cross my mind.
See what this is a very heads up play by these guys. So good routing. They're a Moon Pearl away from being able to clear pod, which some of them don't know that pod's a pendant. So the idea would be to put that off so you can combo them because we already have a mirror, and that would just kind of make for some good routing. At least that's what I think they're trying to do.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I try to put off pod as long as I can, but I've also learned that if you try to put it off too long until you have absolutely everything, sometimes the thing that you needed is in there, and that hurts real bad. But for now, fortunately, I think all of these runners have enough options to be able to keep looking around a little bit before they, go over to East Dark World to have to worry about that kind of stuff.
All right, $20 there on the hobo from Vortex's screen. That's no good. We're running out of stuff.
Yeah, like I said, definitely looking at the old man's closet at this point. That's 3 checks, and it's very easy and quick to get to as well. You don't even have to commit to Eastern necessarily, so I have to imagine somebody's going to make their way over there before too long. Right now, we've got a lot of sort of overlap of racers checking checks that we've seen other racers kind of check, but pretty soon I think we'll see something fresh here because we're still very early on.
Yeah, unfortunately, DapperWormMan is out of bombs and trying to find some. I'm not sure. Nope, there is one. He got one.
There it is.
Heck yeah.
Is that one of the 50/50s?
I honestly don't know.
Trinex is in chat. I bet he knows. So there are some rocks, and I think bushes as well around Hyrule that have a 50% chance of giving you a bomb every single time that you walk onto the screen. Famously, there's some at the south of the Grove that are really helpful in the early game. And if you know where those are, there could definitely be some up on the mountain that we don't know about that maybe they do. Can really come in handy in a situation where you need one real bad.
Yeah, for sure. Vortex trying to farm some rupees. He needs 4. Poor guy. Hey, here's a new check. We got Saha. Oh, a flute. That's kind of nice. That might get us. Wow.
That could be it.
This could get us over to the Mire area, as well as, mirroring into checkerboard and desert. So we do have some opportunity here. So Laoria going to be heading to Kakariko as fast as she can to activate that flute.
Mm-hmm. Hey, did I call it or what?
You did. You said, hey, there's 3 checks there, and they're good.
To be fair, we still don't know what we're going to find there, but safe to say that's going to open things up quite a bit.
All right, well, chat's going to, regardless of what I say, they're going to put a bunch of 07s in chat, so...
Do you not want them to?
I mean, I don't know. I'm an old man who doesn't like fun.
What's going on here?
Go to Kakariko.
You know what? I'm doing it right now, and if everybody wants to follow suit, they absolutely may. Do the salute. Why not,
No fun allowed.
All right. So yeah, let's see what we got.
Flute in the 6.
Oh, we have an 08 in chat from Amarith. Very confusing. I love it.
Heck yeah. 08 was a good year.
It was. Yeah, it was a good year. Let's see. Okay, Red Crystal Ice. There was a Pendant Pod, which we knew. Pendant Swamp and Pendant Mire.
Now, I'm not sure if we'll see it on Laoria's side. There is the opportunity for her to sequence break Mire Shed with that mirror to give herself a Super Bunny state. Considering the Moon Pearl may show up here, she may not decide to do that, though.
I would love to see that personally. I think this would be a great time for Super Bunny. We'll see.
Yeah, it's more often seen in entrance, Rando. Mm-hmm. Kind of the idea is you need to press the mirror and up on the exact same frame as you are transitioning into the building, so to speak. A good way to get on the correct frame in most, not all, but most entrances, you can kind of pop out, hold left, and while holding left, hit up, and then you'll be stuck there. And if you let go of it, you can kind of do your up plus Y at the same time, and that would give you a transition into there and give you the Super Bunny effect. But however, your mileage may vary. There are a few entrances that do not do that properly. There's the big key over on right side.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely makes sense to take your time to set something like that up, because if you don't and you end up doing a mirror that you didn't want to do, that is very costly to sit there and wait for that and go back. So very good buffer strat.
All right, so Vortex chilling in Hera basement. It was, nice and slow. Go get a cup of coffee. Wake up. It's Friday night. Get a spiked coffee, I guess.
Coffee stout.
There you go. Laoria headed into desert.
What is
the deep
she
desert
used to kill Landmalus?
Probably a sword, dog. I mean, she's got a sword.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
This is not NMG Landmo. This is going to be Let's Play Landmo. And that's not a slight on her. It's just literally the only weapon she has besides bombs.
Yeah. No, it's every time I'm walking through that hallway, I always ask myself, okay, Landmalus coming up. What am I going to use? And I go through all my items, and I guess I just sort of did that out loud for commentary, not even looking at the items that she had. And there's literally only one thing that could possibly be used. Although, no, actually, if she had some bombs she wanted to use, she absolutely could, and she does have 9 of them, but I think it's probably safe to stick with the fighter sword for this one.
Yeah, there's a way to time the bombs. It's kind of a thing of you have to, as the rear end of the Landmo disappears, you drop a bomb, pick it up, and then you want to throw it to where it's about to come out. And then you can usually hit 1 or 2, depending on their patterns. It does do more damage than the fighter sword, I mean. It's not better than, like, say, the fire rod or something.
Gotcha. And finally found that compass in desert. So I believe that is our first crystal.
It's the first one for Laoria.
Oh, okay. Shkoople has completed Hera. Okay.
Yeah, and DapperWormMan is up in there, and VortexofDoom is also up in there. Look, he killed Hera, or about said he killed Hera, but he killed the big worm dude.
Hera boss. Yep. All right, so that's 3 crystals.
Hera worm.
For our racers. Mm-hmm.
All right, Shkoople going to be doing front of escape. Oh, this might be a good time to do Aga as well, if you're going to do it. Ooh, Ether in the desert big. Might need that. I didn't catch and see what Meyer was, but guess what? Our awesome trackers did. It is Ether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so unfortunately, Meyer's a pendant.
It is a pendant. It's a green pendant, which gives it a slightly higher chance of maybe having some goodies for us. But gosh, I mean, you don't want to find yourself in pendant Meyer if things are going good. Ooh, and there's the Rune Pearl for Laoria. I don't know why I got so excited about that. I guess we've seen that.
You got excited because, like, if you're in a speed gaming Twitch chat, they're like excited whenever Moon Pearl's in a quote unquote trolley place like that, and it is it's telling when that's gonna happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. So or most times rather, I should say. But now, like I said, not doing the Super Bunny, not needing to, able to just come in here in full, actual normal state. What do we? Oh, there's a fire rod.
Wow, and a shield.
That's a pretty poggers moment.
Yeah. So, you got to feel like Laoria has got a nice advantage there. I won't even say lead because we're still pretty early on, but definitely a front runner with those checks and those finds.
Yeah, she's on the right path, is a good way to put it. And remembering to be pretty thorough here, heading into Agina's cave.
Good stuff. Yeah, you hate to learn that this was something really important when it was available pretty much from the beginning of the game. So might as well go ahead and check it while we're nearby.
Well, as it stands, all 4 of our runners have 1 crystal. So pretty even footing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crystal count, absolutely, even. But in terms of knowledge and sort of progression found, if you were going to try to rank at this point, which is kind of pointless, but it's what we do as commentators. It's part of the fun of it. I would have to give it to Laoria for now. It's hers to lose at the moment, so we'll see what happens.
How many Ganon falls is she ahead, Timp?
Oh, who could say? Scientists will be studying it in labs for years to come.
Okay.
7.
Choosing to do... This is kind of actually, it feels bad for Laoria, is doing the Dark World here without that hammer, just kind of chilling on the mountain. Hopefully it doesn't lock her too far in Thieves Town as far as, like, to an item.
Yeah. There are definitely some things that it would be nice to have hammer for at this point. We've got the big chest in Thieves. We've got hammer pegs. And then, if it came down to it, I mean... with everything else, we could get into Swamp. But only so far if you don't have the hammer. And we know where it is, and it's not on her path.
I would not want to be going into a pendant swamp with no hookshot and other crystals to do.
Fair. That's fair. Hey, maybe they show up on the way there,
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Swamp turns into a crystal on the way there too, like and makes it a little more appealing.
All right. Fair point. Yeah, I'm not going in there either. Not all for right, a while.
So Vortex got his flute, activating it now. Laoria heading into Thieves Town. So if you're Laoria, you kind of do and don't want to find the small key. If you find the small key, as we see the bug nut in the first chest, that does mean the whole dungeon is in logic, and in her mind, she knows she could potentially get the hammer, later in the dungeon per se, even on the boss or past the dungeon. But we do know where it is. Obviously, with 4 runners and 3 of them gone to Hera, they're gonna they all have the hammer.
That's right. Yeah, we actually just discussed that a couple of podcast episodes ago. Daaanty did a little bit of digging through the code with T Sigma 6. We learned some very interesting things about key logic. That was one of the things discussed. So I guess this is as good a time as any for a quick plug of the show, the Go Mode Podcast. It is a podcast about A Link to the Past randomizer, hosted by myself, Daaanty, and our good friend Herfy Durfy. It comes out every 2 weeks, and it's just, an hour and a half to 2 hours of talking about Rando. Kind of like a talk show. We, welcome people to come in our Discord, talk about the episodes with us, and we're hosting this giant mentor tournament that is getting ready to kick off in about a week or so. So we'd love for you to listen and join the conversation.
Yeah, it's like you said, it is a talk show. I don't know what else we do because there's no videos ever.
Well, I mean, this is kind of a video for our show right now in a weird kind of way. So we find ways to make runners. Yeah,
it's always about the runners.
Absolutely, it's about the runner. It's about the runners being on the on the channel that we also happen to have the podcast on. But
all right, so no small key. For Laoria and Thieves, DapperWormMan is making the Aga play. This is unfortunate for him because we know that's not what needs to be done.
Yeah. Can't say I blame him. It's definitely a bold play, and it's the kind of thing when you're racing against 3 other people, if it pays off, it would be huge for you. Like if you were the first one to notice and read the writing on the wall and do that, yeah, that's awesome. And it's a risky gamble. I definitely respect it. But unfortunately, we happen to know it's not going to work out this time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a couple questions in chat. Where was Flute? Flute is in Saha's hut. So I guess DWM will be able to walk over there as a bunny and mirror and get it, but we know that Lumberjack is dead as well, so just unfortunate, but I wouldn't count him out. He still has a chance.
Yeah. GFE asked where the Moon Pearl is. It's in a very fun position in Checkerboard Cave.
All right, so Vortex does have a Master Sword, so this fight won't be, and the hammer, so we'll be able to do some additional damage. Hey, look, we're hammer locked in Thieves Town. There's no small key, but that's kind of good news for Laoria in a way because she's not going to be orphaning an item here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice sigh of relief when you make the decision to go into Thieves Town without the hammer. You're just like kind of slowly counting down the probability and the chance of the fact that you're going to have to orphan an item here and maybe come back. And I think we've all heard stories of super important items in the big chest in Thieves Town that you couldn't get because you didn't have your hammer yet. So
yeah, it's kind of aggravating when that happens. But Laoria into phase 2. This is a scripted fight. I think she's still on script. Yeah, she should be fine. Well, misses one.
A little improvisation at the end there, but yeah, got it done.
Meanwhile, Shkoople heading into Skull Woods. I kind of like this play. He's got blue mail, he's got a hammer, he's got a fire rod to clear it, and he's got a Master Sword. It's, I'd say Shkoople's probably in the best position right now. As far as like just, I'm not gonna say ahead, but doing the things. Him and Vortex both. Vortex really close here to the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, no, I definitely like going to Skull Woods right here. Makes a lot of sense. And in terms of picking up crystals, Laoria just got a second one, so VortexofDoom has 2 as well. Shkoople's about to get their second one. You would assume getting Moth here. What is it? Can you kind of elaborate on what it is that you like about Shkoople heading here right now and what kind of gives them that edge?
Well, I like it because one, it kind of exudes some confidence from him. A lot of people are scared to do Skull Woods at this point, but you've got half magic, you've got the blue mail, you've got a few safeties. I think it's totally fine. There's no reason for people to be afraid of this, but getting as many crystals cleared out as you can early on in one swoop, I think is great.
I mean, it's a crystal we can do right now, and I'm always in favor of that. So,
sure. That's a cute little bunny sprite there on Vortex's side. You know, the whatever you call it. Anyway, mall fight. And it's over. It's it.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's done. And that's 3 bombs. Shkoople did a pretty good job with that fight. Nicely done.
Absolutely. All right. So what's next for Shkoople? Do you think they'll head south, or maybe even take the play over to see what could be on like Graveyard Ledge?
Well, I think he made the play straight to the back. So we're gonna finish clearing out Skull Woods, but we've got flippers. There is the opportunity to go ahead and route in Catfish at this point. It's not as appealing because you can't combo Zora with it. Considering Shkoople has already done that. It's a tough call to make. No Kate, but you could get the info. As we see him trying to set up a bomb jump here, going to use the sword buffer method.
That was a slick setup. I would have loved to see that work. Oh, and there's our second item. So, very good. And as you may have noticed, skipped Middle Skull Woods, essentially kind of taking a gamble that the one item out of the other 6 checks that they had to look at would not be Middle Skull Woods. Especially not having Kane, that takes a really long time to check. So that's a gamble that I often find myself making as well, and tends to pay off more often than not.
All right, now Laoria going to have a little tougher time with this fight. Down to a heart and a half. Only has Fire Rod and Fighter Sword to her name. So this, isn't going to be the freest thing, but down to 1 heart. And unfortunately going to take a death.
She has a fairy, I believe. Yep. She threw an empty bottle into the waterfall fairy pond. Very smartly.
Yeah, it's so fast to check that now in like V30.
Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, did you happen to see what was on Bumper Ledge? It's a real doozy.
I missed it.
It's a sword. So, unfortunately, Shkoople wasn't able to grab that, but is checking Graveyard Ledge and just a big 20, unfortunately. But, Tempered, for Shkoople was up there. Again, doesn't have that cape, and, hard to imagine a scenario where they're comfortably back there without going way out of their way. So, unless there's that 4th sword somewhere close by, they're probably going to be finishing this out with a Master Sword.
Absolutely. Also, Vortex picked up the powder and the book over in Hype Cave. That's, questionable as to how much value that's going to give us, but there is the opportunity to go ahead and check Bombo's tablet. And looks like Vortex is probably going to give us that check right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finding the book early, if you've already got your desert, it's like whatever, but it's really nice to know that you have access to the tablets, whether they're in the area where you already are, or if you have to go out of your way for them. It's a fetch quest essentially, and there's stuff on those sometimes. It sounds stupid to say, but you need to check that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we already have access to desert another way, so if the book's not bait, then there's going to be something on one of these, maybe. There is that opportunity that is just kind of, bait, I guess is the best way to put it. There's a more educated word for that, but it's escaping my mind right now.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, a red herring. That's it. That's the word.
Love that.
But anyway, just $20. Speaking of red, $20. All right, so Laoria following in Shkoople's footsteps here. Going to be checking North Dark World. Hey, DapperWormMan did manage to get that flute. Probably a little upset about that, but headed into desert. Going to probably clear this out and then get his Moon Pearl over in Checkerboard.
Yeah. Yeah, once you've done the early Aga and you put together when you finally do get your Pearl or your second mid or your Hammer or whatever, it's like, oh man, I didn't have to do that. It's not a great feeling, but hopefully they're able to just push that back and just continue to play a good seat, play a good race.
All right, $20 there on Stumpy. Also, K45 was like a big 300, and Vortex didn't just said I don't need that. We're pretty rich this seed, honestly. Okay, so Laoria going to give us a little bit of difference here, divergence. We're going to head over, I guess, to Catfish. This is a pretty Spicy play.
Yeah.
This is one of those out-of-the-way checks that if something is there, it could be a little bit of time before other runners get to it. I do like this play considering she doesn't have hammer.
Right. I was just thinking that. Yeah, no hammer, no bow. If you're already in this neighborhood, you might as well go ahead and finish it out by doing this, not trying to do like pot or anything like that. So this makes a lot of sense, and I guess we'll see very soon if it's going to be something that pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering if Laoria is avoiding the mountain in case she finds the hook shot, so she can just do all of the dark mountain in one go. It would make sense.
Yeah. At this point, especially, not having been up there for so long, it really would be nice to one-shot it. But as we know, it's just not a possibility.
All right, so Laoria headed back into the Kakariko portal to get to Village of Outcasts. We do have the Smith Chain occurring over on Vortex of Doom side. That's a new check, so keep your eyes peeled there. Meanwhile, DapperWormMan doing his absolute best here with Master Sword bombs. I applaud the bomb strats for Lanmos here. Is going to take him down. Nicely done.
Is that? Do you think that was a health thing or just kind of a showing off thing? What do you think was all about?
Ooh, there's a bow on Lumberjack. Oh, wow. Lumberjack Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
Yeah. I don't think it was a showing off thing on DWM's side. I think it was more of a trying to kill them quickly.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he does survive the fight, so good job.
That was a close one. That was a nail biter.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
and then there's the cape. Wow.
Yo. All right, so Vortex's route has paid off tremendously. Just going from the south and coming up, with the mitts and everything. It's worked out so well for him.
Very nice. Yeah. When you have the mitts, that suddenly is on the table. You can start from, say, like the Hype Cave area and just work your way, crescent back up around through Village of Outcasts, and when you find the kind of thing that Vortex of Doom has just found, technically they don't know about this sword, but it is about to pay off very nicely for them. So soon they will be feeling very good about that.
All right, 3 bombs in K45, so nothing special there. Shkoople showing us blind.
I like the way you said that. Blind.
I mean, it's blind. It's a scripted fight, and he's doing an all right job. He's not gonna die. He just needs one more hit. Okay, he didn't prove me wrong.
And a final bomb for funsies.
I applaud it. All right, so there's the bow for Laoria.
All checks out.
All right, so I kind of get the feeling Vortex. Let's see, is he gonna pop this mirror? Yeah. All right, so Vortex is doing a really heads-up play here for the new people. If you have this opportunity, mentors may tell you about this during the tournament. So he's going to actually use that flute, head down to 7, turn this in, and flute back to 3. And he put his portal in a spot where he's just going to be able to flute almost directly to it. It's not super hard to do, obviously, but it does work out for some decent routing. Just a heart piece today in the purple chest, but now he can clear out Thieves Town.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, I hadn't seen that before. I like it.
Yeah, the idea of that, just keep in mind, you could drop the chest and go into Thieves Town, but if you collect a crystal, the purple chest is going to reset. It'll go back to where it was or originated. So that's kind of the idea here. You want to avoid that.
Right. Very cool. So this may be a good time to talk a little bit about our upcoming Boots Camp week schedule. While we've got
where are the boots?
Oh yeah, hey, where are the boots?
You guys need the boots. The game's not playable without. Sorry, you said Boots Camp, and I just was sad that they don't have boots.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Hopefully those turn up soon. But yeah, we have a really wonderful sort of week of events planned specifically for folks that are going to participate in the mentor tournament. But really, it's not locked to that. Anybody is allowed to participate and welcome to participate. But this is 5 days of lessons, I guess, for lack of a better word, put on by folks in the ALTTPR community, teaching new runners about different kind of rando concepts. So the first day we have P-Train going over movement tech and other kind of tricks and glitches and things like that, basic sort of stuff, and then getting a little more advanced. The next day we have Espeon talking all about dungeon routing and key logic. So definitely tune in for that. Wednesday, Daaanty, you want to tell us what we're doing Wednesday?
I'm going to tell people how to do bosses, and it's probably going to be some wrong stuff, but yeah, we'll go through multiple layers of equipment and what your best options are for the bosses.
That's going to be awesome. Thursday we have Sailor Nep showing us the end game. So Ganon's Tower Big Key Hunt, Ganon's Tower Climb, Agatu, and Ganon. And then Friday we have Laoria, who you'll see in the upper left-hand side of your screen, and SEJ doing a mock mentor race as if they are participating in the mentor tournament. SJ will be running through it. Laoria will be the mentor, and you'll get a sense of the kind of conversation that happens between a racer and a mentor during the tournament. So 5 really incredible events. Huge shout outs to our tutors for putting those on. The times vary, so just check the schedule. We'll have that on at the end of the race. You can also check our Discord for that. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. If you don't have a chance to check it out, they will all be uploaded to YouTube the next day. And of course, there's also Twitch VODs for you to check out. And we'll have the chat attached as well, because the last thing I'll say about this, and then we'll get back to our race, is this is all interactive. So we want you to watch from chat and ask questions because they will be answered by the tutors in an effort to help you just learn more about the game and get ready for this tournament. So Boots Camp next week. Check it out. Super excited.
Check your local listings for what time it's going to go live. All right, so we got to look at the pyramid. I don't think that was anything of value on Laoria's side, but hey, she's headed to Pendant Pod. Given her scenario, I kind of like this. She is going to be able to clear Eastern. It does kind of suck for her if there is something on Helma, but as long as nothing's on Helmasaurus, she should be okay.
Yeah. Do you think that she probably will dip pod, right? Just for the items. I mean, of course, it is a pendant, but it's 5 items, and she's got the bow. So yeah, she probably will dip in to see what's in there. But at the very least, Eastern, absolutely a priority.
Yeah, we'll see what she decides. I kind of feel like maybe she goes and mirrors to Eastern first, just in case like massive progression shows up there. But given that she's opening this, yeah, she's mirroring and going to Eastern first. So if nothing shows up here, she's definitely going to do pod.
I'm getting a sense from reading chat and folks that are familiar with Laoria's racing tendencies that pendant pod is something she's very, very familiar with. So sounds pretty likely that after this Eastern clear and these 3 checks, we'll definitely be seeing what's in pod. Like Daaanty said, though, if we have an item on Helma, it's not something that she's going to be able to show us because we already know that the hammer's on the mountain and she hasn't been there.
Yeah, big Sag moment.
Big Sag.
All right, DWM using that hammer, finishing off that maul. Vortex did a good job over there on that Thieves Town blind fight.
Yeah.
And here's a Bombos tablet, $20 coming for Shkoople. I mean, we got new checks on Laoria's side. I feel like we're just talking about Laoria the whole time, but she's the one in these checks that we haven't seen. So our eyes are glued on the new checks.
Exactly.
It's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Shkoople, on the other hand, heading into the pod area with the hammer. So even if Laoria shows us all of pod and is unable to, show us that last item, Shkoople, if he has a similar sort of plan coming in here, will be able to full clear pod.
Yeah, and full clearing pod just doesn't feel good. So in Laoria's mind, when she gets in there, that kind of rules out any thinking or any temptation of doing Pendant Helmasaur. I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see DWM do it if he goes in. I say that because, he's a little behind, so he's kind of going to need like an outlier thing to get him back into this race. That's kind of my gut, at least.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good read. Yeah, nobody wants to do it at this point. That particular boss takes a long time to get to outside of the dungeon checks. And anytime you're doing a pendant boss, if it's quick, okay, fine, whatever. If not, you'd really rather not have to worry about it. So we'll see how the items play in pod.
Yeah, for sure. And everyone's kind of updating us in chat about Leo's strategy as far as pod goes. So, no worries there, no temptation. So we did have a question in chat too, about PED. Far be it from us to have a full race where someone doesn't ask what's on PED. But Leo was not able to check that early just because not having the book. However, Vortex is in the position to route that in if he so chooses after this Skullwoods dive. Right. So we'll see what we find.
That would be pretty cool. I hope they give us that insight. Just so we'll know, just so we know. We just want to know. I want a little peek at what's on PED. It's not like I'm obsessed or anything, okay? Because I'm not. Whatever's there, it's fine. I don't care what's there or whatever. But it would be cool to kind of see what's on there, Can't argue with that.
I mean, checking it is smart, just because, you've got the ability to, it would change, if something is there, it just changes your routing up. So you're going to start prioritizing pendant dungeons.
Yeah. I will say, I think if I was Vortex, I probably would not check, but because I'm spectating this race, I want to know. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah. All right, Vortex using hammer strats. Just needs 4. That's what we need with Temper Sword as well. And Leo did an Armos fight. I missed what was there. I don't think there was anything valuable. It's not on that tracker. So. Yeah, it was just a heart piece. So I guess we're going to Pendant Pod.
All right. We will see what we get.
Are you excited for Pendant Pod?
I don't want to lie to you, Daaanty. But yes, I am excited for Pendant Pod. I thought about it, and you know what? Yeah, there's 5 items in here. I want to see what it's got.
Yeah, I mean it's usually got the goods.
Yeah.
So, until it doesn't.
And
all right, so
at least she's got mirror. So
yeah, Pet's dead. Just put it in a chat command. It's dead.
And huge shout outs to Vortex for showing us that. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have in their situation. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it for us. They know they're on the big screen right now. So all right, let's see if we got an item in the basement this time. Of pod. Nope. Small key.
Yeah, there's going to be at minimum at maximum only 2 non-small key items in all of these front chests of pod.
Yeah.
Now so there is the chance for there to be 5 small keys instead of 4, and then there is a very rare, very very rare chance of it being like all 6 keys in the front of pod. Oh no! Okay, we're good. I was about to say she's out of arrows.
A little bit of game knowledge, knowing that there was 5 arrows in that pot, and she would be able to finish the task of killing all the. There.
I'd have forgot they were there and just mimic clip the guy out of there. It's just wasted time.
All right, so Vortex
is going to be happy to get his tempered sword.
Yeah,
right here.
A nice luxury that I don't think anyone else is going to really get. Of course, there could be something boring like, a sword is going to turn up in TR or GT or something like that. But I think it would be cool if that other sword doesn't turn up and we see kind of the difference between Vortex grabbing it versus everyone else having to deal with Master Sword.
Yeah. All right. Tempered Sword for Vortex in a good spot. Where is he going next? I guess he's going to do North Dark World. Makes sense.
Yeah. Finish out the crescent loop of starting in South Dark World and rounding your way up and just collecting all the items on your way.
And honestly, given our scenario here, I want to say that Shkoople is probably kind of in the driver's seat right now. Just as far as number of checks done. Has not done Desert, but should be, since nothing is there, whenever he decides to do it, should be able to do it quickly. At least save a little bit of time, especially on land mode compared to our other runners.
Yeah, and as you pointed out not too long ago, we still haven't seen those boots. So, coming back. Yeah, I don't know. They're around somewhere, I assume. I mean, hopefully they're in one of these checks. Hopefully the seed generated okay and all that. But yeah,
seed generated fine.
No, I realized after I said that it made it sound like there were no boots, and I knew that or something. No, the boots are definitely in this seed 100%. We just don't know it.
Well, there's a mushroom in Pendant Pod. That's kind of a to be determined. But poor Laoria is still on Fighter Sword.
Ooh, and we have our red cane in the big chest behind Dark Maze. Wow.
So, we are potentially just a hook and ice rod from Go Mode.
Yeah. Daaanty, I want to ask you, if you go independent pod, and let's say exact same situation like Laoria, you find something as significant as the red cane in there, are you going to stick around and check everything else, or are you gone at that point?
I mean, considering where she found it, you're going to have checked everything already. If you're investing time in pod, I think unless you need to do something very dire, then you keep clearing it and just get as many items as you can. But I think she's in a good spot. She's up on the mountain now, so she'll get her hammer. We might have Turtle Rock access. You never know. It's very, very possible. Shkoople has the cane now too, so he does have the opportunity with that cane. We might see an Ice Palace play from him.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be a very tempting play. And very unique for them.
Well, from him, it makes total sense. That's another 5/6.
Yeah.
And then it's fully in logic, and he has cane, so it's a faster clear.
There's really no reason not to. Yeah, absolutely for them. Yeah, I didn't pick that up because I'm trying to keep track of 4 different people's, items and situations and all that. But yeah, that is a really attractive option for them.
Hey, look, he's at Flute A, and look at this DapperWormMan.
That's dope.
He's making the play too, but unfortunately,
double IP.
So, all right, all you new guys, if you want to see Icebreaker and see Ice Palace, well, he might just be stocking up here, but I was going to say there is the chance to see the Ice Palace bomb jump, and that's something that your mentor may need to teach you if you don't have a cane.
Yeah, so Ice Palace bomb jump used to be the standard for folks who were around before Icebreaker was discovered. It was the way that you went through Ice Palace. Once Icebreaker was discovered, I would say something like 60 to 80, just throwing that out there, % of the time, you have the red cane and you can do this trick called Icebreaker, and it just totally opens up the dungeon, trivializes the logic, you just get whatever you need. But the red cane doesn't always show up, so sometimes you still need to know this Ice Palace bomb jump, because the alternative is doing the dungeon the vanilla way, and that is simply not an option in Rando. It takes a very long time. I don't even fully know it. I think most folks probably don't, because we all just do the Ice Palace bomb jump. So you got to know this in case it comes to it.
It's such a bad way to clear the dungeon that when they redid this game on the Game Boy Advance, that it didn't, they changed the layout of the dungeons.
Yeah, they were like, we made a mistake. We're sorry about the Link to the Past Ice Palace.
I missed what was on Ether Tablet, but Laoria did give us a check of that. I'm going to check it when it comes back up. Time for a change of clothes, so it looks like it was just a new armor. All right,
Red
so
shirt.
you could see how much time, like this is a perfect example of how much time Icebreaker saves over on Shkoople's side. He's already cleared out the right side, and DapperWormMan, unfortunately, is still like just getting through
to the actual
of the
dungeon. Yeah, like to the part that matters. It's just like such a long path to even get to where all the checks are.
I do highly respect this play from DWM, considering he probably he knows that Aga didn't work out for him, so he's hoping Kane's in here for sure.
Playing boldly, you got to respect it. And sometimes this is what will win you a seed, so it's valid, to kind of play these outside checks.
So this is definitely not the easiest trick, but does get it. I think it was like third or fourth try.
I think it was third. Yeah.
But yeah, nicely
and
done.
You see that more often because, like I said, it used to be the standard and we all did it. We all got a ton of practice. Almost every seed you played, you practiced it because you just had to do it. Now it comes up a lot less frequently and it's like, oh yeah, how do you do this again? And not uncommon to see a second or third try at it. But the important thing is being able to do it, which, if you have the bombs and the hearts for it, eventually, as long as you can get it, you're in good shape.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so DapperWormMan finally in the meat and potatoes area of this dungeon.
Yeah.
Which is probably like the only good way to describe it. But Shkoople...
Frozen meat and potatoes.
Yeah, Shkoople, I think, has gotten all the items. Looks like it. Headed to Doubal's Cold Stare. Skipping Iced Tea Room. So I didn't do an item count, but I think we did get all three.
Seems like they have accounted for them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so no hook shot here over on DapperWormMan's side. Gonna have to use kind of an unorthodox bomb jump here that we don't see very often.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one in quite a while. But it used to be, a regular part of every runner's arsenal because it came up a lot more. But yeah, if you set yourself up just right, you can get a bomb jump through there. Normally that's a hook shot room, but not a problem for DWM, knowing that kind of lesser known bomb jump. So well done.
All right, nice fight there from Shkoople on Master Sword. And it is Samaria locked. So that's with the small key showing up on the boss of Cold Stare, that kind of gives you that intel that it is Samaria locked. Laoria giving us our check of the mountain. We're going to need Bombos, and she's quaking for the memes, I guess.
No, it seemed like probably a mistake. I don't know, but maybe we'll ask her about it.
All right, so we got two checks that we can do.
This is the first time we've seen Super Bunny.
Hey, it's in logic, but Laoria doesn't know this. Tim, what's in Spike Cave?
Oh, I regret to inform you that boots are in Spike Cave. Again, this is a total guess. I don't actually know.
Oh, okay. So you just think the boots are there?
That's like my guess.
She might be trying to sequence break it. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we shall see. Can't check out Hookshot Cave.
She hasn't done Hera yet, so she was looking for Hookshot, I believe. Makes sense. All right, so Shkoople gonna give us our big bomb check. That's pretty cool.
That's definitely a fun one. I definitely like to check this one more or less as soon as I can, and it's convenient because I find that stuff tends to be locked in there that opens up the rest of the seed a lot of the time. I specifically remember a time when I was playing and I did a check and you were like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. Is there a reason that you typically don't like to do red bomb? Or like, what are your thoughts on this check? I guess just sort of generally.
It just depends on how much you got. There's not really a whole lot you can or can't say about it. I'm not sure what Shkoople's doing, but he's taking the big bomb. Okay, he realized his mistake. And Timp, we missed it. There was Bombos inside of Ice Palace, so these guys are going to have access to Turtle Rock once they get back up here.
Okay. Yeah, of course, Bombos, one of the ways that you can get into Ice Palace, so that means that Fire Rod was absolutely needed to get in.
And it's garbage, so I kind of get the feeling Turtle Rock's the play here.
It's definitely looking pretty attractive at this point. 5 checks in there. Of course, we have everything we need to get in, or we know where everything is that we need, except for, of course, the thing that we need to complete it, which is the ice rod.
Yeah, for sure. Chat pointing out that we had a hookshot locked Bombo, so I guess the dream is alive for you guys that Pendant Swamp really could have the hookshot in it.
Oof. Yeah. Hope not. I mean, I guess that would be fun. I hope not. No. For the sake of our runners, I guess I should say. That is not something you want to find as a vanilla or even French vanilla hookshot. But, you know, we were just talking about how TR is great because it has 5 checks. Guess what? Swamp's got even one more than that. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know,
so,
after you get hurt.
Another thing we like to do with the Mentor Tournament, with that, you know, being on the horizon, we, you know, not just do we like to train people, so to speak, to race and feel more confident in racing, but if you do want to, if you think, man, these 2 commentators completely suck and I could do better, then... Right. This is your opportunity. Like maybe you don't want to apply with speed gaming or tournaments because of the sheer number of people with the audience. Obviously, we do have a little smaller crowd here for things, and it's a great starting ground to, you know, in case nerves are a thing. You know, I'm partially joking, but I'm serious. Like, you know, for some that, as we see Laoria getting her Master Sword, if you just don't feel comfortable doing it in front of a larger audience until you get a little experience, it's a great opportunity in this tournament when we do restream. So be sure to be on the Discord, and, you know, if you want to get involved with commentating and tracking like Radical Sniper and LadyBoxthief are doing for us tonight, or hey, if you want to start restreaming like Amarith doing for us tonight, we have ways that we can, you know, get you educated on how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be clear, we do suck. We absolutely suck.
Yeah,
at least fair. I do. Daaanty's pretty good. I suck.
We do. we both do. We'll both suck together.
We'll both suck together. That's friendship right there. I love it.
And then when it's over, we'll go have a bevy at Kakariko Tavern. So.
Ooh, that sounds delicious right now. DapperWormMan about to also learn about the disappointment of the Pyramid Fairy check. Yeah, we've kind of got a lot of sort of check maintenance happening right now where our racers are tracing one another's footsteps and kind of picking up some of the things that they haven't had a chance to get yet.
Soon, though. Soon.
TM. So,
I mean, given that we've got a 4-way perspective, I do think hookshot's in Swamp. We've seen literally everything else.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of other places, and it's definitely a thing.
That's not so bad if we had boots, because why don't we have boots?
I don't know where they are. I don't know where the boots are. That's why I don't have them. I don't know where they are.
I feel bad. Like, these guys probably won't find boots this seed, and then they're going to be like watching this bag, and we're talking about boots the whole time, or I am. And they're going to be like, oh, they planted the boots. But I mean, we totally just generated this, you know, quote unquote, legitly by just doing the Sahabot command in the race time room.
Yeah. So on the Go Mode podcast, a couple episodes ago, we discussed the concept of metagaming and what that is and what it means. And to boil that down very quickly, it's like the idea of things that you know about the race that don't actually involve the race. So I have to imagine these folks, they know that last year we did do a little bit of shenanigans and we generated a kind of a funny seed, you know, without telling the runners. So it was kind of like a fun prank almost. We did not do that this time, and I cannot stress that enough. But you have to wonder if they are just thinking that, and if that affects their decision making at all. If they're looking for wacky, weird plays because they think that we planned out it, even though we most definitely did not. I hope they're not doing that, but you have to wonder, you know?
Yeah. I would be wondering, and I'd be like, I hate these guys.
Yeah, a lot of contempt all around.
I'm never listening to their podcast again.
Fair. You know what? We deserve that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to make the okay, this must be a thing. This must be a thing. I think yeah.
they agreed to something in another Discord. I have to say.
Yeah, so for those who didn't notice, Shkoople also using the wrong medallion on TR. That there's no way that's a coincidence between two of our 4 runners here. So there must be. Well,
he used all
agreement.
3 of them.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, all 3 of them.
That could be what it is. Use all 3 before you go in. Fortunately, all 4 of our runners have all 3 of them at this point. So.
All right, Vortex taking down Cold Stare, going to be finishing up his Ice Palace, getting his 6th crystal. It's pretty good.
Not bad at all. So Shkoople taking the long way around here. Of course, that is something that must be done if you do not have the hook shot. Because you can't pull yourself off and warp to the entrance again. You got to go down and all the way around so that you can get through this door before the torches go out. You hate to see it, but also it's good to see because the alternative is going the wrong way, which a lot of folks do because this doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Oh, is Vortex making the play? I think he is. I think he's reading the logic.
Let's go.
He's making the play.
Love it. So basically, it's Shkoople and Vortex right now. Those are the kind of the screens we're watching to see if we find any progression in either one of these spots. Hook shot, or I mean, like I would love to see Shkoople find an ice rod in here too. So
it's not the play. He's making the bomb play.
Dang it. Well, maybe they'll come back. We still have Shkoople's screen to watch. Yep.
It don't make sense for him to do swamp. Not yet. Even though the logic might be pieced together, I can see why you'd skip it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to do it. It's a pendant, and it takes a long time to get into. But, I mean, I definitely could see someone doing it. It wouldn't shock me if they were doing it. Because, again, like I've said this a few times, but I think when you're racing not just 1, but 3 other people, it maybe kind of emboldens you to try things in the chance that maybe you're the 1 out of 4 that did the right thing that was kind of the outside play. And I think Swamp in this situation would absolutely qualify for that sort of thing. So it's a valid play. I wouldn't, in fact, I'd love to see it, honestly, but I definitely don't fault somebody for not doing it in this situation either.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Leo's probably going to do the same thing with the big red bomb, the cherry bomb. We could call it the cherry bomb.
Oh, cherry bomb. Yeah, that's an actual thing. Cherry bombs are a thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad I thought of it.
Did you ever play with cherry bombs as a kid, Daaanty?
No, they're illegal in my state, and that was like the one thing when we went to different states to get fireworks I wasn't allowed to get because I'd blow my hand off.
I mean, bomb is right there in the title. Like, I don't know how they would ever sell those as fireworks. It's kind of wild. I never really messed with explosives or fire as a kid that much.
You never played with a fire rod?
Only when I was playing Link to the Past, and only near the end of the game.
Then, did you play this game as a kid?
I did, yeah.
I rest my case.
I guess you got me there.
All right, so we're heading to Mimic Cave. We're finally heading to Mimic Cave. Nothing so far, by the way, inside of Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So you have to imagine also Shkoople after this, if they don't find the ice rod, they will mirror out the back door of TR, maybe check a couple more things, see if they can't get lucky and find the ice rod and be able to preserve their portal coming back. But we'll see what they do.
All right,
My
so
money's
Vortex
still on Spike Cave. Sorry, go ahead.
It's very possible. Vortex making the same play, heading up to Turtle Rock, as it were. but Shkoople headed to the back. This is where usually, kind of like Pod, this is where the party is.
Yep. Laser Bridge coming up. That is always a hot check. Maybe we'll see our meme-tastic bow on Laser Bridge, which is something that has aggravated many racers of this game. We still have one of those bows still yet show up. Wouldn't really mean a whole lot in terms of progression or the race, but it is kind of a thing at this point.
Yeah. Vortex, not Shkoople, going to be showing us Spike Cave.
Daaanty, we had a question in chat about preserving the portal in TR. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, you mirror outside and you preserve it and you use it later.
Well, there's a couple rules, right? Like talk about like the save and quit thing.
So if if you save and quit, your portal goes away, as we saw garbage there in Spike Cave. Let's check Laser Bridge before we talk about this.
Yeah.
There's map and compass. So one of these is going to be the small key. There it is. And nope, bow doesn't work there.
Can't use that.
All right, last chest. What is it? Oh, it's not an ice rod. Where? I guess it's... Okay, so Shkoople is probably understanding here, not really a good chance or opportunity to preserve the portal. If you use mirror anywhere and make a new portal's going to go away. If you've killed Aga, like DapperWormMan has, you cannot preserve your portal. Also, to do so, you're going to need hookshot. So there's not really a good opportunity for these guys to do it in this seed. Mainly because they probably know now, like, we're going to have to go to Pod. Not Pod, a swamp. And you're going to lose it there.
Yeah.
But if you do have the opportunity to do it, basically, if you go into Dark World, you have to have Aga not dead yet. And you have to get yourself killed in Dark World, so you respawn. And when you do, you'll be in Light World. Your portal will stay where it is. That's kind of the gist of it.
Mm-hmm. It can definitely save your bacon in the right situation, but yeah, there were factors I hadn't considered when I brought that up as a hypothetical that you have sort of debunked. So thank you for the lesson.
Yeah.
Tune in next Wednesday for more wonderful Daaanty facts to help you get better at the game.
There are no wonderful ones, just accidents.
That's good stuff.
Shkoople going to be
using Vortex is using the wrong medallion as is expected.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's definitely a thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so I was gonna say Shkoople headed back into the Dark World. So Laoria and DapperWormMan are kind of in the same spot. Wormman just hasn't done... Oh, he hasn't done Smith Chain, therefore he has not gotten his bow, which is why he didn't do Eastern, so that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, it's a... Timp, it's a thing.
Definitely a thing.
I'm canceling the race. They're having too much fun. Stop having fun.
I don't think DWM used all of them. I think he only used Quake, unless I missed one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get the specifics after the race. All right, here's Spike Cave. Ooh, let's go.
It's $5.
Oh, we already saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's lame.
Surprise, $5. Dude, the play... Oh my god, they're using...
Going back.
Alright, it's definitely swamp.
It has to be.
What is Shkoople doing? Oh, he's checking the tablet. Okay. It makes sense now. All is right with the world. Actually, he hasn't been into TR, has he? No, he has. I'm losing track of who's been where.
I know. It's definitely hard to keep track of. It's not just
I just want them to go to swamp.
I was a little distracted by Laoria, who walked out of Spike Cave, which is not something you see very often. Do you know why one would maybe do that?
It's a little faster if sometimes instead of climbing the mountain again. But I think Vortex did the same thing, just to head back up the mountain here.
Well, obviously I totally missed Vortex going through Spike Cave because I didn't know what was in there, so that's on me.
All right, I think Shkoople is. Yep, this has to be swamp play.
Gotta be. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I definitely trust these two runners over my own instincts. If it's faster, it's faster. I feel like I've not seen that very often where people will walk out of Spike Cave like that, especially without the boots. You know?
Yeah, I miss the boots.
Yeah, where are they?
You remember when we could start with boots?
Oh man, that was like a thing for a little while. Like everybody was playing boot start seeds. I miss those days.
I miss the boots. I don't know. We'll find out, Ken. We'll find out together. Ken in chat asking, will he do Cane glitch in swamp? I'm gonna assume maybe in the back.
We could see. We could see the bomb version.
He can't do it on the left side without Hook.
True.
He's gonna need to get to the back. So Hook's got to be here. I mean, Hook is gonna be here. We've seen literally the rest of the game.
Indeed.
It's not like a aha moment when I say Hook is gonna be here. It's just because we've seen the whole game. At least what's available to us.
Orange in chat pointing out something. The worst thing that could be in Swamp is the boots, because boots would open up Misery Mire. Something that I forget about a lot of times, because you normally have one of these two so late in the game to where you have Mitts and Flute and Mirror and whatever else that you can get to Mire, is that you also need either Hook or boots to get in at the very beginning when you have that three tile gap or whatever. So finding boots could mean that like opens up Mire in a way so you can go get the hook shot in there, and that would be absolute garbage from this seed.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we'll see how nice Swamp is to us. Shkoople's now kind of getting to the point, the meat and potatoes of the dungeon, if you will, the watery meat and potatoes of the water dungeon.
Look, man, you got to cook potatoes in water most times.
Boil them. Yeah, boil them right up, and then you mash them when you're done. You add some butter and salt
and then you
pepper.
Stick them in a stew.
Potatoes.
Sure. I'm glad we were putting down the same thing.
Yeah, I was on You're the Man Now, Dog back in 2005.
10 arrows down in the south room. That's the compass room, right? I forget.
I don't know. The south room.
It's map or compass. I play rando. I don't play like open every chest mode. I don't even know if NMG runners know what that is.
No one.
They probably do.
No one knows what it is. Not even Ian Albert knows what's in that chest.
Nah, Ian Albert knows.
Ian Albert is the only one that knows what's in that chest.
That guy's got every cave numbered. Imagine if like that's how we calm this. Like Hype Cave was not cave 22 now.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're checking the 22nd cave.
Heading through the 37th entrance. Yeah.
God, that would sound so pretentious.
I know. Like you can't watch it until you learn all of those. Like, oh, you don't know what cave 37 is? Maybe you should send Ian Albert an email.
We do have chat pointing out that map is the first chest in swamp.
I'm not convinced. I don't think
south is compass. Keg's a smart guy. He knows.
No,
I trust. I trust him.
All right, so yeah, unfortunately, we have to do left side swamp the slow way because we don't have the hook shot. We take that for granted a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. If the boots don't show up, or if the hook doesn't show up here, I'm just going to cry for these guys.
It's going to be sad. It's going to be a sad situation.
Oh, God.
Okay, there's one item. Maybe money will make you feel better? Says the seed. Maybe you'd like 300 rupees instead of progression? Not really, though, Seed. That's not what we want. All right, and our right side, left side check. Maybe this is it. This is the big key chest. I do know that one because it's got that fancy green carpet under it.
Yeah. Carpet.
It's carpet.
Oh my dude!
Another item. It's nothing.
It's pendant pod. It's Helma.
Oh my goodness. Is that literally the only thing left? Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's pendant Helma.
Oof. And we talked so much about Helma and like the benefits or like the ability to do it, but like, oh, why would you ever do that? That's crazy. And here we are. It is progression. It's our hook shot. It's maybe an ice rod. Boots. You know, it's what we need. But like, oof, what a seed.
This seed sucks. They're never gonna play anything for us again.
Honestly, if we had planned out this, we suck. Like, we would not plan out such a crappy seed. Our planned out would be a lot more exciting and fun and interesting than this tedious mess of a seed.
Man. All right.
So,
well,
yeah, Shkoople's going to get it.
Laoria is on Laser Bridge. Her heart is about to be broken, just like everyone else's.
Learning the hard way.
See, here's the thing. Shkoople has a decent lead, mainly because everybody is doing the same thing he did. So he's not losing any time. He obviously doesn't know that, but for sure, like he's definitely in the driver's seat of the seed right now. And it's getting, what's happened is this opened up pretty early on after we got that pearl. And this is kind of what you hear people talking about, it funneling down to being a linear seed where it just forces you to do something you just don't do. Like, you're not, why would you go clear pendant Helma when you have so many crystals to do? So all four of our runners ooh, maybe not. Laoria's heading there. Okay, this could blow things open and bring her back ahead of Vortex and DapperWormMan.
Do you happen to know what else she has available other than this
Swamp.
Helma check? Okay, wow.
Swamp.
Wow. Galaxy Brain. She's avoiding the 4 checks in Swamp that could have a
also
bunch of stuff to do this. Wow.
Esmar in chat pointing out she's doing this potentially to save her portal as well.
Oh, smart.
If Hook shows up here, if Ice Rod shows up here, that can't happen. So to her, it might can. It might be able to. Yeah. But anyway, we're about to find out. Shkoople's fighting Helmasaur. It's 9 hits to get 2 holes in his mask, and then 8 more to get to 17 to knock his mask off. If you can count, you can fight Helmasaur.
All right, so basically, Boots, Ice Rod, or Hook. What's it going to be?
It can't be Ice Rod. Excuse me.
Oh, right. You reasoned that one out.
Oh, look, a hook shot. Look at my surprise. At this point, okay, so that puts TR into logic as far as that Bombos goes, but we've already been there. This gives us Back of Swamp, and then this also gives us Hookshot Cave, both of which are long checks. So I'm wondering what Shkoople's going to opt for here.
Now it also gives us Mire.
Correct. Yeah, you in chat pointing that out. Man,
I got it from chat. I didn't think of it. I'm a fraud.
Listen, you gotta take credit for other people's stuff sometimes.
You gotta Don Draper your way to success.
I'm gonna start timing out any PED questions.
I think Mocha is I bet Mocha probably just got here. Shout out to Mocha in the chat. Good to see you again. MT 2020 participant, friend of the show.
Yeah, like we are Ice Rod from Go mode, especially with Hook.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. TM.
Yeah, like you said, there's a few places available after finding that hook shot. Do you think? I mean, back of Swamp definitely a valid play, especially. Well, we know that there are quite a few items. How many items were there in the front? There was at least 2. Yeah,
there were
pretty solid checks still, I would say. Without those boots, though, everything takes a long time. I mean, heading to the back of any dungeon without boots is time-consuming. Swamp, certainly no exception. But that being said, we're just about there with Shkoople.
Yeah, I don't blame Shkoople for heading back in here before heading into Mire. Mire's a very long clear, especially with no boots.
Yeah, 2 versus 4 items. Yeah, it makes sense. Definitely does. Okay, and here we see Arcane Diver Down being shown off by Shkoople. Once you've learned it, really not too tough at all.
All right, so there's our big key and our map. So definitely something, yeah. He's headed back up to go ahead and check Big Chest because we know there is an item there. Because we've seen Compass and I think we've seen Compass. But we've seen map, so.
Yeah.
So, all right, so Leo's going to give us Hookshot Cave. Chat pointing that out too, so.
Yeah.
A little bit of divergence. This could be a deciding factor. Oh, there's boots.
There's the boots.
Finally.
Wow.
God.
It still remains to be seen if that's progression or just like a super nice thing to have.
At an hour 29.
Wow.
Game is playable.
Mean seed. All right, so Shkoople gonna see what's in the back chest here, this waterfall room. Oh, it's the ice rod! Wow.
And at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 47 seconds, Shkoople's in go mode.
Who are you and what have you done with Daaanty?
I don't know.
Wow, Shkoople seemed like they were feeling pretty bad from those pulls on the wall, but I guess they just don't realize that everyone else has had the same or worse problems that they have. They're definitely
Leo,
our front runner, yeah.
Leo pulled silvers. That's a nice little thing to have. I forgot what those even do. But here we are.
Yeah, I think they kill vampires. That's what they do. And I don't know if they forgot to code vampires into the game, so they're kind of useless.
Well, considering Laoria is taking a death to Lionel's, I have the hunch she is headed to Mire. All right, so DapperWormMan getting his bow now.
Yeah, DWM, again, like we've said, has made some bold choices that in another life could have paid off, but as it stands right now, has to be feeling pretty behind, and unfortunately is. So we'll see what kind of bold plays they continue to make as they try to make up some time here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Shkoople definitely out in front now. Vortex making the same play as Laoria. We'll see where DapperWormMan decides to go after this. And I get, so kind of explaining maybe what's going through these guys' minds. Obviously, I don't know 100%, but so Leo, we could tell, is very committed to saving her portal, especially after finding Hookshot. Vortex is probably of the mindset of, all right, I've already wasted time in Swamp, so I got a lot of the items, so maybe this is where I'm supposed to be, since this is like a logical thing that opened up. So both of these plays make a whole lot of sense from both of their vantage points. But, just from what we've seen on Shkoople's side, not really the case.
I feel like I would probably find myself in mire if I was in this situation as well. So definitely a legitimate play, to be sure. Unfortunately, we know what we know.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even really a whole lot left to be in Ganon's tower to change the tides in any sort of way. We pretty much have accounted for just about everything except for... Oh no, we've even accounted for our fourth sword, haven't we?
I don't think so. Maybe we have?
These were all bumper cave tempereds? I might have missed the sword, I will fully admit.
I think they were. Because DapperWormMan still is on Master Sword.
Okay. So there could be a sword in there, but even that's probably not going to make a huge difference. So, yeah, it's Shkoople's race to lose, I would say at this point.
Yeah, and there's a question in chat. There's no GT big key guessing game.
Rip the bot. I think that might be gone forever. Actually,
as it should be. We have Twitch predictions.
We have the predictions now. Yeah, it pretty much does the same thing. So, that being said, I don't know if we have a prediction we can get going. We certainly don't have the bot. But that being said, it is time to get those guesses in. So even if it is sort of just an informal bragging rights sort of thing, if you wanna get your guess in, I think now is the time to do it.
I'll figure out how to do this.
All right, Daaanty's on the case. Maybe you can set it up before Shkoople makes his way over there.
Oh my god, I can't find it.
Yeah, hopefully
I'm bad.
The internet pride points are enough.
Yeah,
I know it is for me.
You can just brag in Twitch chat.
Even just like, you don't even have to brag, just like, getting the right number, and then everyone's gonna go look and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that person got it, and you'll be like, I'm that person. That feels good, that's a nice feeling. So hopefully we can give that to somebody tonight.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
All right, so we're going left first.
Left side start. No hope room. Nothing useful on torch.
All right, small key, $20. Hey, there's the fourth sword.
Like butter,
and
baby.
A shovel.
Nice.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Good stuff. Boots were not required, but boy, they sure are nice, aren't they?
They are.
2 small
They
keys
really
in
are.
hope. Wow. All right, and right side coming up.
Getting through the torch puzzle very easily. Not getting grabbed by the wall master. That's important.
Yeah, you hate to see that. So, Irritable Penguin pointing out in chat that Laoria is heading all the way to kill Vitreous, even though she has the 2 items. She's ready to play this out fully to turn in the green pendant, I would have to assume. Maybe even hedging on a
with that
head play.
green pendant.
Yeah.
It's the last thing that is Oro is saying in chat. Last thing to do to save your portal. You've committed to it. You need to follow through on it.
That's respectable as hell. Like, if she could have found the ice rod, say for instance on green pendant and then went back to like the middle or the end of TR to finish that out, that would be really, really impressive. That would be incredible. And she did everything to make it happen. It just, the seed didn't cooperate.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting deeper on the left side. Very solid Vidi fight there with those silvers on Leo's side. Kind of an NMG style Vidi fight from Vortex. Nicely done. Both runners being rewarded with that green pendant.
Shkoople having a little bit of trouble with the switches in Ganon's tower here.
Yeah, that's what you call a bad day.
Oh man. Yeah, if I had to put an amateur's analysis on it, I would probably just say they're doing too much. They were trying too much. They should have just kept it simple. But you know, that's how it goes. Especially when you're in a race, you know, a lot of people are watching. You want to do every single thing you can to make up some time. And
oh yeah,
you got to do what you got to do. Fortunately, go ahead.
You're in GT here. You know, obviously this isn't like a tournament race or anything, but you know, I do think all four of these runners are competitive in the sense that, you know, they're probably gonna have a little bit of nerves, like, okay, no one's done yet. I'm climbing GT, you know, or I'm not climbing, I'm looking for this key. I've still got a prayer at this. So, you know, that does play a factor in how people perform sometimes. But nothing in Rando room, so it looks like we're going to Bob's Chest and Armos Knights.
So that was 17?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't count them.
I think that was 17. I just kind of went through them all in my head, and I believe that's where we're at.
I'm like a Twitch bot, or just a bot in general. It's like, is it big key? Yes or no? All right. If no, go to next chest. Is it big key? Yes or no?
Yeah. Well, that's the way to do it if you're playing, but unfortunately we're watching and commentating, and we need a little bit more responsibility than that. There's 18. So yeah, 19, 20, 21, and then 22 tile room. So
mathematics.
Arithmetic.
All right, so setting up here for the NMG Armos fight. Shkoople doing a nice job with this. Shkoople also being no slouch at NMG. There's the big key. It's actually vanilla 19. Today. And this 10 it's vanilla. What? I'm more impressed that there were 2 vanilla items in that room than anything else. I don't know what's in that right chest. The bombs might have been vanilla too, for all I know.
I'm definitely impressed that you knew that, because I certainly didn't know what was in there vanilla.
That
was incredible.
Unbelievable.
You were so excited. I loved it.
Yeah, well, that's like the safety arrows, like when you need them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In NMG, so like that's just hilarious.
That's cool. All right, so yeah, Shkoople's making that climb. They got a red shirt on. They got a butter sword. They got boots. Like, what more could you ask for except for, I don't know, maybe silvers, but he's not getting those. Yeah.
Shkoople knows what he's doing. He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, essentially just kind of putting on a clinic for us, about to show us how the gauntlet goes. And if this can, of course, throw you a loop, you know, these enemies are unpredictable in the way that they move around, but there are definitely some things that you can do to set yourself up for success and, you know, the majority of the time be successful in killing these guys with a number of different equipment options. And just one final plug to tune in next week for Boots Camp. Thursday is the day we'll be going through all of this Ganon's Tower climb stuff, teaching you all the strats, courtesy of Sailor Nep. So be sure to tune in for that if you are looking for some tips to help you with GT.
Yeah.
And Vortex finding their boots in the
game's playable.
Swamp Big Chest. Yeah. It's a beatable
scene. At the 1 hour 41 minute mark here for Vortex. I feel so bad for the guy. Same thing for Leo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Kazden in chat confirming that the bombs on the right side there in that room were vanilla as well. So we had all vanilla. This is the NMG room.
What if that was the one thing we planned out? was to make.
Don't even say it. All right. Vortex has entered go mode now with his ice rod.
Yep. Shkoople running dangerously low on magic, but
he's fine.
Yeah, should be fine because he knows all the spots where you can pick up some more, including all of those chests that they just picked up, or all the pots, and then that one right there gives you a full. No problem.
Getting that second key from the mini Helmas. Paying attention. Always climb GT with one key in Rando.
A lesson I've learned the hard way many times.
All right, here we go. Everyone's favorite pre-in-game boss, Moldorm 2. Googly Eyes himself. Yeah.
Mr. Googly Eyes. Oh, and checking validation chest. How about that? Didn't check the two in the Helmasaur room, even though there was potential, as far as they knew, to find the silvers. But taking the time for that final chest.
Those mini Moldorm chests, or mini helmet chests, take a good while. So I get why you don't check those.
But if they did have silvers, it would be a huge difference in how long the final fight takes. Just saying. I mean, we know it doesn't, so it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But I would take the time to take a quick little peek if it were me. That's just me.
All right, solid Aga 2 fight there from Shkoople. Going to be heading to fight the big old pig.
All right, hook shots in all directions as we wait for the bird.
The one time the bird shows up in Dark World, he's like, "Yo, fam, I got you. I finally figured out how to get here."
And not a moment too soon.
It's suddenly inverted mode.
I mean, if it's going to happen at any point, I guess right when you need to go kill Ganon is the best time, so can't say I'm mad about it. DWM is about to get their hook shot, probably be pretty peeved. Yeah, I just imagine a situation where all of the checks that and the plays that DWM made work. You know, like there's an alternate universe where we're watching DWM dominate this seed, you know, and everything else is exactly the same. That's Rando for you.
All right, so let's go through Ganon really quick here. As we're already in phase 3 and almost done. With Butter Sword, it's kind of nice. 6 slashes for phase 1, 6 slashes for phase 2. The 4 guaranteed ones here for phase 3. And we're into phase 4. Going to get the torch glitch over here. Very nice. And now we just have to get 12 spins to finish off our big old pig friend.
So it's very possible to get 2 for each time that you light the torch. But it's also definitely attainable to get 3 each time if you are careful with lining things up with the fire rod, and Ganon cooperates a little bit with the teleports. It is possible to get 3 per cycle. Definitely no shame in 2 each though.
Yeah, Shkoople doing a good job getting triples here, working out really good. This is kind of the bread and butter fight at this point.
Good
and down
stuff.
goes Ganon.
Very nice fight. Very nice phase 4.
And with that sword up in the air, get your GGs in the chat for Shkoople coming in first place for this race. I assume he's going to go across the bridge, and we're not going to talk about that. But he has finished in first place with an official time of 1:46:20.
GG Shkoople. Very well raced.
See if we can get him in here for an interview.
And Vortex making his way to GT, just now making his way to GT when Shkoople is finished. That's really, and at 1:46:24 too. What a wild seed this was.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like what we've seen a lot with the main tournament races lately, where it gives you so much early on, and then it just like makes you clear the whole game for nothing. Just to have to make a play, and Shkoople made the play going back into Swamp.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. Yeah, I think the headline is the Helmasaur King hook shot. That's really if you had to pick like one item location to define the seed, I think that's the one.
Yeah, for sure.
Pendant pod, no less.
There's the butter sword for Vortex.
Good stuff.
I was setting you up, man.
It's like butter, baby. Y'all check out Kwame on YouTube. What It Like, name of the song. Excellent song. You might be thinking it's an inside joke, but it's not. It's just a song where they say it's like butter, baby. And I think of it every time I get the butter sword. And I thought it was something everyone knew about, but it turns out it's just a local DJ in Charlotte that says it. So I thought it was national, but I said it on the podcast, and both my co-hosts were like, what the hell are you talking about? That's not a thing that anybody says. So that's
Why
the
would
entire
you say
story.
that?
Yeah.
And we are now joined by our winner tonight, Shkoople.
Hey, GG. Shkoople.
Hey, GG. Thank you.
Quite a seed.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, so a lot to go over, honestly. But while you're still fresh, tell us just kind of generally, like, what are your thoughts?
So I figured most people are gonna last location of Helma. When I found the hookshot there, I was feeling better, but up until that point, when you're last locating items, it never feels great. But I knew I was like efficiently clearing the seed for the most part, so I knew that if it came down to last locations, I still had a chance. And then I pulled the boots, followed immediately by the ice rod, and I felt way better about my position, but still a bit scared because I knew killing Helma there wasn't like unreasonable. It was just I didn't want to do it. At the first time to pod.
Yeah, you got the cane, which kind of made ice look really nice. There was just no reason, and given that all four of you guys did not go to Helma right then, kind of proved, the point it's just there's no really good reason to invest that time, especially since it wasn't green pendant or anything.
Right.
Yeah, we were all talking about how it doesn't make any sense to do Helmasaur King, and nobody did it. Everyone had to come back, but yeah, that ended up being the linchpin that absolutely won you the seed.
Yeah.
So
it was just like I could see doing it. You have all the items. It's in logic. It's not like a terrible fight, but it's still like you said. Ice Palace was so attractive at the time.
I have to ask, what was your thought process as far as going back to Swamp versus checking, say, Hookshot Cave or the Mire area, or going into Misery Mire?
Well, I'd already cleared TR and forgotten about Super Bunny Cave. So I was I knew like I didn't want to make another mountain climb. I just wanted to maybe check the first chest in Mire or Swamp first before going back up there, because I knew there was nothing left up there at that point. Like, well, I didn't know there was nothing left, but I knew there was nothing left in TR, and if Ice Rod wasn't there, it was just an unnecessary mountain climb. So I figured I'd at least clear the back of Swamp first, because it's hookshot locked, right? So you just checking things that are hookshot locked.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right play, obviously, but like a Swamp double dip, it was bold, but it paid off. So yeah, congrats to you.
Yeah, and if you're like tuned into the restream now, you can kind of see that Laoria and Vortex both, and DapperWormMan all are either in or have been to Mire. Unfortunately, DapperWormMan kind of went to Aga pretty early on before going to Saha, so it did not quite work out for him. But I have to ask this too, because it caught me off guard. I got real excited. How'd you feel about the Ice Armos room being completely vanilla with arrows and bombs and the whole like?
I felt right at home grabbing those arrows. It's like, yes, we can do arrow climb. But that was one reason I went back to Swamp Palace too, because I figured if you had last located it, which I think you should in this seed, you don't really feel great about going directly back to the place that you have already been.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if it's here, maybe everybody else just scatters and I can pick up a nice time save. Or I'll lose a bunch of time, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the play sometimes. We talked about that a few times during the race. You know, like sometimes just picking sort of the outside play is the way to go. And I think you maybe feel a little bit more emboldened to do that when it's not a one-on-one. There's more people involved in the race.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a good reason I went back to swap other than I just didn't think it was like super attractive, but it still had 3 checks, which was the most outside of climbing the mountain again, which I didn't want to do. And I wasn't going to go kill Vidi at that point. There's no way.
Yeah. The quantity of checks I think is also a really great, reason to go too. So that's totally valid. Now, there was something a little strange that we observed, not just from you, but from all the runners when it came to opening up TR. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's why
I just thought you might say something like that.
No, there's just a quick swap errors. I couldn't, find the right medallion. It was a disaster.
Quick swap's faster, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's so crazy. And it's the craziest part is it happened to literally all 4 of the participants. Like what an insane error for everybody to make,
That's
so weird.
Pretty trippy.
It's much better than accidentally like mirroring on a boss or something. So, could end up taking a lot more time if you accidentally do it somewhere else.
So were silvers in Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny?
They were Hookshot.
Okay.
You could have saved like, 30, 40 seconds? If that.
I don't know. My Ganon was pretty clean. So
your Ganon was pretty solid.
Shkoople need a lot of help during Ganon. That was a remarkable, especially phase 4, just really solid execution.
Yeah, so like 25 seconds probably would have saved.
Good stuff. So, is there anything else that you remember from running the seed? Any kind of thoughts that you had as you found certain items or didn't find certain items?
I mean, the beginning I thought it was really paying out for me, just going directly up to Death Mountain, getting the hammer, getting all that stuff, getting Hera. I don't know. It kind of like let itself to just being a full clear seed, which I love. Like you just go to efficient, dense areas, and it all kind of hopefully works out.
So, as you know, this being the exhibition race for the 2021 Mentor Tournament, and you being not just a participant of the MT 2020, but one who went very, very far in the process, what sort of advice do you have for participants of the 2021 Mentor Tournament?
No think, only go. No, I don't know. Like, you just gotta find your style of play. Is it making gambles? Is it full clearing efficiently? Do you have an execution advantage? You just gotta figure out what you like to do and just play to that strength. Do you feel like you're really good at reading a seed? Because I know there's people out there who just can make the right call very often, and I don't know. I just find your strength.
What about when it comes to working with your mentor? Do you have suggestions for like how to go about finding one, or once you have them, how to best communicate with them? What kind of thoughts do you have around like mentor communication?
As far as mentors, I scouted my mentors. Like I would watch them play a seed or, find a VOD, read their bio, find somebody who like kind of call out the things I was interested in. Like if they called out their NMG time, I knew their execution would be decent and I would look for that for maybe execution tips. Or if they were main tournament participants, they obviously can route well, so you can get some tips there. But as far as communicating, you got to make sure they know what you're comfortable with, because I've seen that a couple times where you get into a sticky situation where the best play is to maybe go kill Mothula with a fighter sword. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you got to let your mentor know.
Yeah.
And make sure you make plays around that.
For sure.
That's great advice. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Anything else in regards to either the seed or last year's mentor tournament, this year's mentor tournament? We have a little bit of time before I assume Vortex finishes up their Ganon fight, so you have a little bit of time where the floor is yours.
No, I mean, I think I've said what I need to say. I'm just kind of looking forward to the event. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see it from the other side, and that's going to be pretty cool, which is the main reason I'm participating as a mentor, because I just felt like this tournament helped me so much last year. It just accelerated the learning process, and it was really dope.
Awesome. Well, yeah, for those of you who are going to be looking for mentors, Shkoople has shared some really valuable information, I think, to help you find one. And also, Shkoople is available, and as you just saw, no slouch when it comes to playing ALTTPR. So, we're super happy to have you participating as a mentor. Obviously, you're going to be a wonderful resource for as many runners as you work with, and yeah, we're looking forward to getting it started too. We're super excited to get this thing going.
I just had something else.
You still have some time. If it comes to you in the next 30 seconds or so, probably longer, honestly. Yeah.
I'll work on it, but I was listening to you.
But yeah, Vortex just kind of finishing up phase 4 here. Also having a really nice phase 4 fight. Getting a few of those three hits in. But again, if you get the cheer, it's all good. Yeah,
it's making me so nervous about falling off because he's so tiny, and yeah. Holy crap! This is why you practice with your sprites. Like, unless you're just like really good at the game and you can make a change on the fly and pick different ones. Make sure you get a sprite you're comfortable with, so you're not me in this regard. But Vortex has finished. Ganon has the sword in the air, so should be totally fine. Gonna get ready to cross that bridge. And
GB's Vortex with that sub 2 as well.
Yeah, getting the official race time of 1 hour 59 minutes 12 seconds. We'll see
finally putting an end to Dr. Wily's reign.
And DapperWormMan has finally entered Go mode as well. Got his ice rod out of the back.
All right, let's see if we can get Vortex in to join the conversation.
And big shout outs again to our 2 trackers tonight, LadyBoxthief and Radical Sniper. Clicking those buttons, making everything light up for us. And our Restreamer Amarith. But hey, we're joined by Vortex. Yo, GG.
GG.
Hey, GG.
That was something.
G followed by a G. So while you're fresh, what did you think? Seed thoughts.
I thought I made good plays most of the time, given the logic and given what other choices I had made. I thought with as much as I cleared before TR, that diving Swamp before going back for Helma made more sense. Given I knew Hookshot was next progression, because there were literally no other checks that weren't Hookshot locked. So...
yeah, that was definitely something that it was a branch for everyone when that Hookshot finally showed up on Helmasaur King and opened up basically like 3 really prominent checks, and it was kind of a matter of like, which one are you going to go to? Are you going to go back to Swamp that I think everyone had already dipped at one point and was a pendant? Are you going to maybe check Hookshot, Cave, Mire? So it was kind of a down to, to see what everyone ended up doing there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice silvers, by the way. Hookshot Cave that I didn't get.
Womp womp. Were there any other checks that you remember, maybe like thinking back to the early game, which is also pretty eventful, that kind of stood out to you or that you wanted to comment on?
I felt really, really good about my early route until Moon Pearl was locked by both gloves and the flute. Also when the flute was in Saha's closet. But like getting the glove and hammer before CAC was it felt really good, and all in logic too. Like every check I did was in logic, so
Yeah, I'm recalling now. So, when there's 4 racers running at the same time, it's kind of tough to keep track of exactly who knows what and who has what. But I do remember at one point noticing as you were making your way up through Dark World that you got the magic cape, I think from like Magic Bat, and that allowed you to be able to go up and get your sword off a bumper cave, which was a nice little advantage early on as well. Not everyone was able to take that routing quite as cleanly as you were.
Yeah, the hype case start I was really dubious about, but given that like it was likely to be an ice rod and medallion hunt or something like that, I just I was like, these are all going to get done anyway. Something before village would be nice, and getting powder and book was super nice because I was like, oh, now I can check ped even though it's almost dead.
Oh yeah, we appreciated that, by the way. We didn't know what PED was until you showed us, and of course chat was very curious, so thank you for letting us know.
Imagine
that
that
was likely, just because who's gonna start hype with 2 clearable crystals in the village? But I guess Fire Rod was Stumpy, was it? Or where was Fire? No, it was Mireshed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after I had dipped Swamp, like Mire seemed like the best next play. And I was gonna last locate Hookshot Cave because I figured that was the obvious first play, and I felt like I'd given up so much time, and I evidently had against Shkoople. But
so sorry, go ahead, finish your thought.
I might not have been as far behind as I felt like I was.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Laoria taking a tough Ganon fall there, but that does, on the bright side, give us a little bit more time to speak with Vortex. So we asked Shkoople the same question, but Vortex, I was wondering if you could speak a little bit about the process of being a racer in the Mentor Tournament last year, and hear if you had any advice for participants this year in terms of getting used to racing and working with the mentor. If you had any sort of thoughts you wanted to share on that topic.
I think one of the most valuable things for me for developing a good mentality was finishing my races. No matter how far behind I was. I remember week 6 of Swiss, I was against Krithel, and he finished, and I had last located a couple things badly, and I was like 20-30 minutes from finishing still. But and that was like the hardest it's ever been to stick it out. But like, I finished every seed I played out for the longest time, and it helped, develop not only a positive mentality, and like resilience, but also it got me really, really valuable GT and Ganon practice that I desperately needed at the time. I think going into it, my mentality was to improve and not to win, and so finishing was really important for me.
That's great advice. Yeah, because because you're not going to get that practice if you quit every time that you lose a race. Going through Ganon, and that's such a huge part of the game is that Ganon's Tower, Ganon Agatu, all that stuff. So yeah, really good advice. Thanks for sharing.
And Laoria has now finished in third with an official race time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, 51 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for Laoria. See if she wants to talk about this seed as well with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so DapperWormMan heading outside of GT.
What's going on here?
I'm looking forward to wherever he's going.
What's in here?
Okay. He's a Hotel Mario. This is the GG room.
I've never heard that before.
That's kind of an entrance thing. You find Hotel Mario, that's GG. That's the end of the race. But
that's funny.
And he has forfeited. So get your GGs in chat for DapperWormMan as well. We'll see if we can get him in here with Laoria, and we'll chat and wrap things up. I think
Absolutely.
This was a pretty cool kickoff to tournament. But,
yeah.
We do have we have Laoria with us now. GG.
GG's.
I'm angry, if I'm being completely honest.
What are you angry about?
I'm more angry like at myself, I guess. I mean, I was trying to practice an MG earlier and I was just playing like garbage and nothing execution wise was going right, and it felt like that just continued this evening, and so it just made me a little on the salty side. By a little, I mean a lot.
Well, I'm thank you for sharing that, because I think that's such a relatable feeling, and honestly, I think that's a really good teachable moment for folks who are watching, who are going to be participating in the mentor tournament. This sort of thing happens a lot, does it not? I think all of us on this call right now can attest to the fact that like it's really easy to get frustrated at this game, but absolutely GG's to you for finishing it out. And to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, we had 4 people to watch at once, and we might have seen a couple deaths here and there, but like I thought you ran a wonderful seed, and there were definitely some times where it seemed like you were decidedly in the lead with some of the decisions you made. So GG's to you, and again, thank you for sharing. I think that's really good for people to hear that like that happens at every single level with this game. It's a frustrating game, you know, which is what makes it so satisfying when it works out, you know.
Agreed.
So any other thoughts just sort of in general about this seed? I mean, obviously, you know, the Helmasaur King hook shot threw everybody for a loop. What were your thoughts?
I mean, that threw me for a loop, and I felt good finding it, but I just tried way too hard to save my TR portal when it came down to it, because I literally ended up full clearing everything other than Swamp.
I gave up on the portal immediately just because I full cleared everything before the mountain, because I found that Bombos and I was really interested. I hadn't checked TR medallion, but I was like, if it's Bombos, Hook isn't going to be in here. If I want to save my portal, I need to check everything else first, because Hook's not going to be there. So I did like Spike Cave really slowly and everything before doing TR. And once I was there, I was like, well, I have like 4 checks in Swamp or Helma, and I know Hookshot's next, so I've over cleared otherwise. So let's go to the one that's gonna be grosser, and that was Hookless Swamp. So
Did anybody find boots?
I found the
Sure
boots.
did. If
They
you turn
were
around in Flooded Room and you went back to Swamp.
Yeah, they were in the big
close
chest in
to
Swamp.
where I was.
Yeah.
I was
An
like,
hour
cool,
before.
I get to do 0 Cycle Argus, and then I found the Ice Rod, and I'm like, dang. No, I don't.
Guess you don't.
Do we have DapperWormMan here?
Soul Dungeon.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
hello,
I am here.
DapperWormMan. GG's. Well-run seed. We were saying while you were finishing out there, you made a lot of bold choices that we respected very strongly, but unfortunately, this wasn't the seed for those to play out for you this time.
Well, thank you for saying respected instead of maybe another verb that is more appropriate. But yeah, I mean, I did Aga Tower knowing that I was leaving 5 checks or 6 checks behind. Just thinking, oh, this feels like a moon pearl on the pyramid seed. And it wasn't, but so that I was obviously a little bit behind and started to rush dungeons and just skipped Overworld, which definitely hurt because I did not have the bow going into Pod and Eastern. And then just, you know, making choices that I felt the other runners weren't making so that I could try and catch up.
Yeah, like you said, you know, once you make that initial bold decision, you know, the early Aga rush, it's like the only way to dig yourself out is to double down and start making even more bold, you know, kind of one-off choices, which we saw you doing. But again, like, you know, I respect, and I think for folks watching, they saw a demonstration of a technique that you can use when you are feeling maybe a little hopeless. You know, sometimes you can make those gambles, and you know, for you tonight, they didn't pay off, but they absolutely can under different circumstances. So it was cool to see, you know, different styles of play kind of shown off.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I would not have dove Ice Palace that early without, of course, Samaria and the hookshot. But it is possible to beat Samaria locked, hookshot locked Ice Palace without either of those things. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, good stuff. We'll start with Laoria and then DapperWormMan. I'd love to hear from you as well. We asked the other racers, what kind of things would you recommend for racers of the mentor tournament in 2021 in terms of maybe like choosing a mentor, communicating with mentor, mindset during the Swiss round, anything you can kind of think of that would be some advice you could impart to our class of 2021, as it were. So, Laoria, let's start with you.
Something that we have this year that we didn't have last year is the mentor intros. And I know that quite a few of the mentors have like kind of tried to put a little bit of their personality into their intro to a degree. And so like if you're reading one and your times match up, but that like intro just kind of like vibes with you, like go and check out a couple of their streams, listen to how they talk on stream, and if you feel like personality wise that you're gonna vibe with them, then just don't be afraid to ask. Like, and even talk in chat. I mean, we all signed up for a reason, so don't be afraid to reach out. But I highly recommend, like, if you see somebody that you're like, yo, I feel like I kind of maybe might want to ask them for help, like, go and check out one of their Twitch streams or watch one of their VODs and just see how they, like, react while they're playing.
We recommend, like, are you into routing? Are you into execution? Like, go for this person, that person. But that's the first time I've heard someone say, like, go for someone that has the same vibe as you or sense of humor or, like, feel like you'll get along with. And that is really good advice, because I think that's how you, like, communicate best, is, like, when you feel like you can really be comfortable with somebody. So that's great advice. I don't know if that mentor intro channel is visible to applicants just yet. Which is, it's totally fine. To explain, no, that totally fine. So just to explain to our racers, we do have a channel where mentors are going in and posting sort of an introduction for themselves that will become visible once the tournament gets started. And you can go through that channel in our Go Mode podcast server and read all of the write-ups that each mentor has written about themselves, describing like what they think is important. And like Laoria said, kind of a lot of times their kind of voice and vibe comes through in those messages. So really great advice. Absolutely. DapperWormMan, it's your turn. What would you recommend to participants of the 2021 Mentor Tournament?
I think something that really helped me last year, and it might not be for everybody, but I used different mentors in the early stages of Swiss round. Went with someone who, like Leo was saying, kind of vibe with their style of play, and then the next week I kind of went with a different mentor just because it's better to get more advice from different folks in the community, I think.
Yeah.
And I did go back to my mentor for week one for brackets, because I think we had one mentor for 1 week of brackets. But I say that, not everybody definitely is going to want to use somebody else. Like, if you really want to stick with the same mentor, that is also definitely okay. So that was one thing that I think maybe a lot of people wouldn't think of right away. They go, oh, I'm going to, pick somebody and just run with them the whole tournament. But just keep that in your head. Maybe getting advice from other people during your races is going to help you. Yeah,
we have a lot of folks that share opinions about, like, sometimes a racer will have one mentor, and then maybe it's someone they know, in real life, or somebody they met online that they like, and they'll just stick with that person the entire tournament. And then we have other people who will take a different mentor for every single stage. And I think there's merits to both of those. Those are both valid.
For sure.
I guess I would, just whoever the racer is, kind of think about, do you want different perspectives? Do you want to create a bond or something with somebody? But yeah, also really great advice. So yeah, thank you to you, and thank you to all four of you, honestly, not only for, putting on this race for all of us on a Friday night, which is super fun to watch, but also sharing your insights. Because I know a lot of people are wondering about kind of how to do this whole mentor tournament thing. So I think hearing some perspectives is helpful to those folks.
I'd like to echo the different mentor perspective really, I think, helped me. But I think Vortex will also agree, having the same mentor that you maybe vibe with and, having their second perspective on a different seed, maybe a different choice in this one that they wouldn't have made in the last one because of, a missing item, something you did before, that can be really insightful as well. So try both.
Yeah, I had Gamachu for every single week as my mentor. He was fantastic. I learned so much. But one of the things, like, I do in retrospect wish I had like branched out at least a little, just because like I met some other mentors that taught me a lot too, but outside of the Swiss context.
Yeah.
One of the things that I vividly remember is like one time he was like, I'd pick up the Smith here, mirrorless, and another time he's like, nah, let's skip it. And it like I don't remember any of the other context around it, but like sometimes a check seems good if you have other things, and sometimes it doesn't, and like the whole game situation surrounding that, it can be really valuable to get somebody's perspective on multiple different seeds. So it's not like, well, X person likes this kind of thing, is the impression you get when you have them just one time.
Yeah. You can get the sense if you spend a lot of time with one person, like their biases and, tendencies could maybe kind of rub off on you for better or for worse. Yeah. That's good. It's as a good thing to kind of like look out for. Is like maybe hear a couple people's, at the very least, a couple people's perspectives to get a full story of like, is this a thing that everyone thinks, or was that just my one mentor? Because we all have those.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I agree with basically everything you guys have said. I mentored in the first one, and then I got blacklisted from mentoring because I'm a host, because Timp made that a rule. But
did I?
But yeah, like
I don't remember doing that. Anyway,
it was a rule of the first two. I just figured it applied here. But anyway, it was like kind of the aspect of Swiss, the way we're running this. You really you do and you don't have anything to lose, because if you're here to learn, I mean, winning's great, but it shouldn't be your main concern. And just getting better so you can win later, is kind of the big thing in my mind. Or make that foundation of building blocks to win. So experiment in the I think a good strat is to experiment in the Swiss stages, and if you find someone you really like, go back to them for brackets, or just keep playing the field, so to speak. Sounds like we're dating or something, but whatever works for you. I like the way Laoria said the whole vibing thing.
Yeah,
that's a really good thing too, because if you have a mentor that just doesn't doesn't like bond in a way with you, or kind of understand your strengths and your weaknesses, then yeah, it's not really going to work out. But that's why we do this. So maybe make some friends along the way too. I've said that about League. I'll say that about this too. But yeah, it's should be a good time. I do want to shout out. Our trackers again. LadyBoxthief and Radical Sniper, as well as our Restreamer Amarith, doing the behind the scenes work, so me and Timp can just talk about stuff very wrongly, and nice. Yeah, and like I said, if you guys think you can do better, and you definitely probably could, as far as like calming and stuff, you want to track some, you never done it, this is the time to learn as well for that. So be sure to be in the Discord and stuff like that. I want to thank the runners one final time for doing this, volunteering their time, and also volunteering their time to be mentors this season as well. But I guess that's going to kind of do it here for us tonight. We've got Boots Camp next week, so this channel is going to be popping on Twitch. Oh yeah, there's no mentor brackets. Yeah, way to go, Timp, making me... Yeah, I told you.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were on a roll, but your point still stands. Right. Yeah, your point still stands. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm paying attention. Clearly, I'm sorry.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, all right. You guys have a great night. Timp, I'll throw it to you for the last word, man.
All right. Yeah. Thank you again so much to our runners, to our crew, to everybody that watched. One more final time, a final plug for Boots Camp next week. Stay tuned to twitch.tv/GoMode podcast. Monday through Friday, we're going to have all kinds of really great explainer lessons, interactive with experts from the ALTTPR community. So check that out. We're super excited to put that on for you. I think it's time to sign off. So again, final thank you to everybody involved with making this race happen. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night, everybody.